Hey guys, so welcome to today's video. So this video is going to be a little bit different because I actually was searching for mineral makeup. And of course the first brand of mineral foundation that comes to mind to many of us is Bare Minerals, and I wanted to see if there were any other brands. There are a few other makeup brands that have mineral makeup in powder form or like pressed powders. Like Jane Iredale is one of them. Youngblood Cosmetics, I believe is what it's called, has them. And in general, mineral makeup is probably safer for those of us who are acne prone, which is the skin type that I have. And I usually shy away from powder foundations because I do have some areas that are kind of dry. And so I thought, why not go onto YouTube and see what I could find for mineral makeup as far as like tutorials, routines of people who use minerals for their makeup every day. And I came across this lovely gal on YouTube. Her channel is called Love Shelby. I'm not sure if any of you are familiar with her. She seems like such a sweet person, and she had a video on the Bare Minerals and how it actually is a really good foundation to use. I think she said it was her favorite one. I hope I'm not misspeaking here. And she was doing a video on the best way to apply it because a lot of people probably just kind of dust this on, but Bare Minerals needs to be buffed into the skin. And she was saying how when you do that, it kind of becomes one with the skin. And I thought, let me give it a try because I would like to use something that's better. Because a lot of liquid makeup has added ingredients, preservatives, parabens, things like that that are not necessarily good. And sometimes there's no need for all of those things, especially when it comes to minerals. It's just pretty much minerals. And it's better because it doesn't clog pores. And I'm sort of on this journey with my skincare to clear my pores, which my pores, they're all completely clear. I have some hyperpigmentation from previous breakouts, but I don't have any acne anymore. My skin is dewy, it's plump, and I just want to kind of keep that. I don't want to ruin it with makeup because I think skin is more important than makeup. And so anyways, I thought her makeup looked amazing. Everything she used was powder, and it looked very creamy, very just like her skin. So I was inspired by her video, which I will link it down below. And I went and got myself the Bare Minerals kit. With the kits, it's great because you get all of the things that you need, and this is what it looks like. It comes with a really cool little case, and the kits actually have two different formulas, the original and the matte. And of course, this is probably of no surprise to all of you watching. Bare Minerals has been around for a very long time, and I myself used to use Bare Minerals probably more close to like 10 years ago, and I haven't used mineral makeup like that, loose like that, in many, many years. So I wanted to try both formulas, and the only way you could do that is by buying a kit unless you buy two separate ones, which ends up coming around to the same price as buying the kit. The kit retails for $49. So this kit, I got it in the Fairly Light. It kind of seems to work, but I do have to kind of adjust a little bit with the warmth that's in it, or use a bronzer, because the light, I used to use light, but that was when I used to do tanning beds and I was out in the sun all the time. So I was a little darker back then, 10 years ago. And so I figured I should just probably try the lighter shade. I can already tell you off the bat that this style of brush from Bare Minerals I do not like, because I remember these making my skin itch like nothing else. So I will be using another brush. I recently started using the Eco Tools Define set. It came in a set of two, which I have a video on. I'll link it here, of these brushes, the first impression. And that's what I've been using to kind of buff this product into my skin. And I have really enjoyed it. She did use a brush, Love Shelby, or I should say Shelby, in her video. She used a very dense brush, and I don't have one that's clean. So we're going to use this because I want to do just a little bit lighter. I think she put on enough to make it full coverage. So I'm going to do a little bit lighter. And what I have been doing is I've been mixing both the original and the matte together in the cap and buffing it on. So this kit also comes with a sample of the Bare Minerals Prime Time. So I'm going to take it on my beauty blender. Whoa. It comes out clear. So there will be, let me put it in the back of my hand. You won't be able to see it because, like I said, it's clear. But I'm going to just kind of work this into the sponge and kind of just press it. This is damp, by the way. I usually use my fingers, but I put some hand lotion on, and I don't want to touch my face with it because I'm really not trying to break out. So I'm going to take some, and I noticed that with this primer, it kind of just helps smooth everything over, and it doesn't take a lot to get this to be nice and smooth on the skin. And you just need a little bit. So I'm going to get about that much. Hopefully you guys can see. It is quite bright in this room today. And I'm going to take my Eco Tools brush and I'm just going to kind of pick this up and really smush it into the brush. And I believe she was working in sections, which I think is probably best. So I'm going to take that and kind of just work that into the skin, starting in my forehead. And she did blend for quite a bit in each section because that's what's going to start melting the minerals into the skin to make it look like your skin versus like a powdery mess on the skin, which is probably why I never really stuck with it, because I wasn't doing it right. But you kind of learn as you get older and you practice with makeup and stuff like that. My makeup now has changed so much than the way it used to be, thank goodness. So, you know, it's just buffing it into the skin and just kind of working in sections. So I'm going to continue kind of working this in sections to kind of build this up. I personally don't really want that full coverage. I'm okay with some of my kind of hyperpigmentation showing through, so I'm not going to go that heavy with it. But this will definitely require a lot of layering and a lot of buffing in order to build this mineral up, because it is very light and very thin, so it will take some building up to get it to give you a super full coverage. But I can already see how this is definitely, oh, that's gonna peeling. It's peeling like right underneath here. But it actually doesn't look that bad, and it does look pretty good. I probably should have put a little bit more primer on where I have larger pores to kind of smooth that over, but this is looking pretty good so far. All right, so I zoomed you guys in. I hope that the lights and with the sunlight and the ISO setting on the camera isn't making it too bright. But this is what it looks like on my skin. You may be able to see just a little bit of my hyperpigmentation scars left behind and a little bit on this side. But overall, in general, I don't think it makes my skin look really dry. It actually makes my skin look very creamy and just look like, I know it sounds kind of weird, makes my skin look creamy, but it makes my skin look like I just put on a liquid. And I think you know, when I watched that video and Shelby was saying you have to buff it in to make it one with the skin, I do believe that it is true, like it works, and that's kind of what inspired me to do this video. I do have a little bit of peeling here and just a little bit like right in this area here. You can probably see this little chunk right here. I do use Retin-A, and my skin is normally already dry, so Retin-A, what that does, it makes the skin peel, and that's a prescription product to keep my skin from breaking out, and it makes my chin very smooth, but it does dry it out a little bit more than the rest of my face, so I can just kind of like pull that, and there it is. You know, it's not that big of a deal. Other foundations, even liquids, have accentuated that so badly that it's like, oh my god, this is just not gonna work. I have to wash my face or apply some more moisturizer and just take off the foundation. But really impressed. It doesn't feel like I'm wearing a lot of product. I just touched my hands and not a lot of stuff came off. So I think this is really good. I mean, I think it's lightweight. It feels really nice, and yeah, I'm really happy about that. I just need to do the rest of my face, but hi. Okay, so I'm at the part of my routine that I need to kind of set the makeup as well, because it comes in that kit. Also the mineral veil, which is the last step, and the warmth to add a little bit of color. Do need to set my under eye area, which I have been using the mineral veil to set my under eye area, and that's just Bare Minerals' translucent powder. It's what they have for setting the face. It's kind of like a finisher step. Whether or not it actually is necessary, I don't know. I'm just going to use it because it's in the kit. And I've actually been using my damp beauty blender to kind of prevent it from looking too dry under the eye area. And that seems to work really well. I'm also going to take a little bit over my eyelids too. I did use a little bit of the foundation over my eyelids as kind of like a priming step because I don't really use a lot of eyeshadow primers anymore. And I'm also just going to use the same foundation brush to use the warmth and the mineral veil. So let's do the warmth. Like, this is how much it's in there, and just the cap. I haven't even tapped it off or anything. I just opened it up, and that is way too much. Like, when I used it, when I did the video for this, Lord help me, that was way too much. Like, this is so pigmented, it's not even funny. So I'm going to take a little bit of this, a little bit, and kind of swoosh it again. Get it all into the brush, which I think is a big thing. I'm going to tap off the excess as well onto a paper towel. And then just lightly kind of dust this over my face to kind of give myself that warmth, which I do think there's something to it. I mean, it does make the skin look more alive. It just wakens up the complexion, adds a little bit of something, and it gives you that color without actually having to be under the sun. And I like to just kind of take this all over, really. I did learn the hard way, though, that a little bit goes a long way, so I'm just kind of warning you. And again, when you put this on your skin, it does make your skin look like skin. And it doesn't look like you're wearing a really heavy product. And that's kind of what I've been realizing through this whole bare minerals thing and really giving it another shot all these years later, is because I realized that it's the method of application that really makes the big difference. And I don't think that I was doing it that great before. And when I used to work for Ulta, I used to be a store manager for Ulta, and bare minerals was something that we sold so much of. And everybody was just like, you pour a little bit in there, you kind of swirl your brush, and then you lightly dust the face. But it wasn't in, like Shelby was saying, working in sections and buffing it in until it continues to become one with the skin and it becomes creamy and it works. And it just ends up looking really nice instead of looking powdery or not enough coverage, you know? So I think the application is huge. So now that I have the warmth, I'm going to go in with the mineral veil. Same brush. I love this brush. And I'm just going to go all over the place with this and just kind of set everything. And this does really make the skin look quite nice, actually, this mineral veil. It is messy, though. If you're not used to loose powder and pigments and minerals, it will be a very big mess. Like, if you could see my desk, it looks a little crazy. Alright guys, so that completes the video. I hope that you guys found this helpful. I just want to show you guys, or wanted to show you guys, how I started using the minerals and how I was inspired by Shelby's video and how that video was really helpful in teaching me the proper ways to use it. I definitely encourage you guys to check out that video if you're interested in using bare minerals or any sort of mineral makeup. It doesn't have to be bare minerals. You could use, there's so many different brands, like I said at the beginning of the video. But that video was very helpful, and it definitely helped me get to this point where my skin doesn't feel dry, it doesn't feel tight, it doesn't look crazy and dry and like not so good. I feel like my skin looks really good. It feels like I'm wearing nothing on my skin. I do have a little bit of some flakies that you saw when I zoomed in the camera, but overall, I'm really, really impressed. And this was something that I felt like I could never use this type of makeup because it just never worked with my skin that was kind of dry, kind of peeling with the Retin-A. But I've gotten over that phase of peeling, so I feel like my skin is in a good place where I can do the makeup or minerals in this format and actually get a really good result. And I have to thank Shelby for that video because that really helped me out. And so if you guys watch it, let me know what you guys think of the video. Definitely check out her other videos. I started watching a few of her other ones, and I just love her. She's a fellow Tennessee gal just like me, so I really enjoyed it. If you have the bare minerals, let me know what you think about it, and if you have any suggestions on some other mineral makeup that you may have used and you really like, let me know what those are because I would definitely love to try those. And I do appreciate you for taking the time to watch this video. I know it was a little bit longer, but I really wanted to go into some detail about it because I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that doesn't use minerals in this way and probably hasn't really been satisfied with it. And I wanted to kind of bring more awareness to the application portion of applying the minerals because I think that that really makes a big difference prepping the skin. And also, before I let you go, I wanted to mention that if you have really dry skin, just make sure you exfoliate and get rid of the dead skin and the flakies that are on the skin. Hydrate your skin with a good moisturizer. use that prime time or any sort of hydrating primer that helps get rid of or smooth over any sort of dry patches, and just work in small sections like I did in the video. And if you watch Shelby's video, you'll see that as well. And just kind of work with it. And don't be so heavy with it, just light-handed, but just continue to work the product into the skin. And you'll be surprised, like myself, at the result that I got. So I appreciate you so much for being here with me today. Thank you so much for being you. I hope that you subscribe for more videos like this in the future. And if you'd like to tune in to my life off camera, I have Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, all that jazz. It's listed down below, as well as everything else that I'm wearing on my face. So definitely check out the description box. Have a fabulous day, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye-bye.